I'm Harriet Frew, eating disorder therapist, teacher and podcaster, and you're about to start healing from your eating disorder and transforming your life and your relationship with food and body. I've worked in NHS and private practice supporting clients for 20 years, and I believe that recovery is possible for you. This podcast dives into expert interviews, evidence-based psychological approaches, and anecdotal tips from the therapy room from my years of experience. If you're wanting to heal your relationship with food, feel confident in your body, develop self-love and self-acceptance, and create a life of freedom and meaning, then this podcast is for you. Thank you for being here.
When you don't know what to do to support your loved one in eating disorder recovery. So when someone you love is struggling with eating disorder behaviours, you can feel desperate to fix the situation and make things better, as restriction or binging or purging seems fundamentally wrong, because food is nourishment and life-giving to humans, and it can provoke intense fear when this fundamental food relationship is out of sync. So as a partner, parent or friend, you might simultaneously feel scared, angry and confused as you observed your loved one struggling with food. And you might feel intense frustration and a desire to persuade and influence. Why can't you just eat normally? What are you doing? How about eating this? But probably your words feel futile as they're not heard or acted on. In fact, your loved one may seem possessed by a whole different personality. They're existing in a distant bubble that feels unreachable and detached. The bright, happy-go-lucky person you once knew has disappeared for now. So let's talk about the new Maudsley Animal Model. The new Maudsley Animal Model offers guidance for carers in supporting loved ones with an eating disorder. And it's targeted at supporting older teens to adults, as younger people may need greater practical direction around food. The model recognises that carers feel understandably lost and struggle to know what to do to help, and they can be drawn unwittingly into unhelpful patterns of support with the most honourable of intentions. So importantly, the model also acknowledges that carers can have the most profound positive impact on supporting someone's recovery. After all, they know their loved one most intimately and usually spend a greater amount of time with them compared to a therapist or other professionals. Ultimately, the model aims to enhance communication between carer and sufferer while supporting motivation for change. And it uses animal metaphors to explain some quite challenging concepts in a way that is more straightforward and accessible to understand. So let's look at the animal metaphors, the ones to avoid first. The rhino. So the rhino is brimming with well-intentioned advice and direction towards their loved one. They're eager to impart wisdom and to tell the person what to do. The rhino is a natural leader and loves to fix and improve the situation. For example, you need to eat more. Why don't you use your willpower to stop binging? You could just eat healthily and avoid the foods that make you anxious. So when someone with an eating disorder experiences the rhino support, it generally doesn't go well. They are likely to lock horns with a metaphorical rhino and rebel, with then two rhinos pushing back against each other. Or the sufferer may people-please the rhino on a surface level to avoid conflict, whilst quietly rebelling behind closed doors. And this can feel intensely infuriating for the well-meaning carer when understanding what's going on. But fundamentally, rhino interactions tend not to lead to lasting change. Time for a short advertisement break. Parents navigating the overwhelming challenges of supporting a child with an eating disorder can often face heartbreak, exhaustion and isolation. However, this journey does not have to be faced alone. The Eating Disorder Recovery Roadmap for Parents, created by Jane Reagan, a certified eating disorder specialist, is an online program designed to provide the tools and support needed to help parents successfully navigate this difficult process. This unique, self-paced online program includes over 10 hours of video instruction and over 50 downloadable handouts. This comprehensive eating disorder course for parents includes practical strategies that can be implemented immediately. In addition to the course content, participants also have access to a live weekly group parent support Zoom call led by Jane, which gives them the opportunity to connect with other parents who truly understand what they're going through. The Eating Disorder Recovery Roadmap for Parents program is designed to help parents gain clarity, build confidence, and maintain their own well-being whilst guiding their child towards a complete and lasting recovery. Reagan's proven program for parents is private, flexible, and tailored specifically for parents who want to make a lasting impact on their child's health and happiness. And with the right tools, education, and support, parents can become informed advocates, helping their child recover and live a life of freedom and hope. To learn more, visit parentsroadmap.com. Link is in the show notes. The next animal, the kangaroo and Joey. The kangaroo is a natural empath, brimming with kindness. They see the vulnerability and fragility of their loved one's suffering. They want to wrap the person lovingly in cotton wool to protect and keep them safe, to put the Joey in the warm pouch away from danger. So the kangaroo will often treat the sufferer as a younger child, showing the utmost care and consideration. But when someone with an eating disorder experiences the kangaroo, it can initially be cocooning and helpful. But in time, it can become smothering and overbearing. The kangaroo pouch becomes protection from the adult world and responsibility. It's also disempowering and confidence sapping. The sufferer can lose all self-efficacy and belief in the possibility of recovery and independence, as the kangaroo pouch is cosy and protective, and they can then retreat further into the bubble of the eating disorder. The jellyfish. The jellyfish feels emotions intensely. Anxiety, anger, sadness, happiness. Feelings are expressed effusively and sometimes haphazardly, leaking out as tidal waves of reaction. If your loved one is suffering, it is natural to feel intense emotion. But when experiencing a jellyfish outpouring of feeling, the loved one tends to hide their own emotions and to withdraw. They don't want to burden anyone or create upset. They already feel that they are too much. So this can become problematic as the sufferer retreats deeper into the eating disorder. And that's why it's vitally important for carers to get their own support too, so they can vent in safe places with partners, friends, or professionals. Regular venting of emotion outside the situation allows the carer to show up with greater calm and empathy with their loved one. The ostrich. Perhaps this is the easiest animal to conceptualize and understand, because the ostrich buries their head deeply in the sand and hopes that the eating disorder problem will evaporate of its own accord. But this is avoidant and ineffective. The sufferer is often already ignoring their inner distress and torment, thinking, I'm not ill enough to warrant help. The ostrich's denial of the problem entrenches it further, and the sufferer can feel overlooked and isolated, and they might consider that they don't have a problem after all. So animal metaphors, the animals to be, the ones to be. The dolphin. So the dolphin swims alongside their loved one, offering warmth and support. They're actively present and encouraging whilst offering breathing space. The dolphin stays calm and collected, providing a listening and non-judgmental ear. They listen well, they offer understanding and attune to their loved one's viewpoint. They ask open questions, they reflect and summarise. They offer encouragement and positive validation. A loved one feels supported and metaphorically held when in the company of an effective dolphin. There is understanding and connection with breathing space to step forward and take responsibility for recovery. The St. Bernard dog. The St. Bernard dog is a counter-response to the overly emotional jellyfish and the emotionally avoidant ostrich. They are warm, calm, and deeply compassionate. They're consistently reliable and dependable through the choppy waters of uncertainty. And the St. Bernard dog is devoted to the safety and welfare of those struggling, but with a healthy detachment, rather than getting pulled into every little drama and difficulty. They offer a peaceful and unwavering presence through it all. So it's extremely tough when your loved one is suffering from an eating disorder. You will frequently get it wrong and get drawn into different ways of trying to help. Be kind and compassionate with yourself, as this is challenging and you are a work in progress. Do make sure that you seek out support for yourself too. Looking after yourself too will not only assist you, but it will reap many benefits for your loved one's recovery, as you will be operating from a more rested and restored place. And this brings an ability to stay calmer through the turbulent storms. Try to stay hopeful for your loved one and know that recovery is possible. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're not following me already on Instagram, do seek me out, the Eating Disorder Therapist _ For further support with your relationship with food, do go to the eatingdisordertherapist.co.uk. If you'd like to receive twice weekly articles to your inbox talking all about eating disorders, tips and tricks from the therapy room, you may wish to subscribe to my Substack. Link is in the show notes. If you enjoy this podcast, I'll be so grateful if you'd follow, rate and review, as it helps it reach so many more listeners. Thank you so much for listening today, and I look forward to sharing another podcast episode with you very soon.